Good evening, everybody, and welcome back to Ryan and Brian's Excellent Halloween Horror Nights podcast. We are here with our predictions episode, season 7. Not the 7th time we've done predictions. So 5 times. This is our 5th time doing predictions, right?
Yeah.
And who has won? So the first year I won.
Yeah.
And then the next year I won.
Right.
The
third year, though,
I won.
No.
Yeah.
But I almost got you last year.
You almost got me last year.
I almost had you last year.
Hey, you know what?
Hey,
Fifth time's the
guys,
charm.
just for the record, I felt bad about one of my guesses last year, but I wanted to win. And we had pretty much confirmed there were new structures.
Yeah.
And so that one was a little bit cheap. And I still lost. So even if I cheat, I can't.
I mean, I cheated a little bit. I sprung on you. You know, I had to have the kid.
Yeah, talking about cheat.
I had to surprise you. And you know what? He came in time. Gotta love the support from the wife who even offered to induce to make sure the prediction came true.
Sure.
That's full commitment right there, Brian.
That's true love, guys.
Yes.
That's life goals, all right?
It is. And Brian, if I recall, we've actually made our promise of having an episode each month so far.
We're doing great.
Usually I'm
good.
apologizing because it's been so long, but I set that expectation ahead of time. So episode 2, and we have not messed up this season quite yet. I will say, Brian, we were talking beforehand, and I have paid attention the least I think I ever have this season. I don't know what's currently rumored. That things have come, things have gone. I just stopped paying attention altogether. Even when putting together these predictions, I'm like, it's hard to predict things because the sky's the limit. Usually in the past, you're like, okay, I think this is going to come. There's rumors that this is going to come, and you're like, I'll guess it. I won't. But this year, I like legitimately, besides a couple of the ones that have been floated around, but I'm like, you know what? It's not fun to do those. I'm not going to predict that Fallout's going to come because it's like, 5. Okay.
Yeah. That being said, we did set like 1 or 2. Hey, and that honestly is what prompted. I don't think we've ever done our predictions episode as episode 2. No, we're usually, but we're pulling back. We're slowing down. We're doing 1 a month, but also dates are already out.
Yeah, I mean,
and so I said, hey, we do have to do this at some point.
Yeah, usually dates are one of the predictions for one of us. It's either the longest or it's going to be in August or whatever. We've done all those now. So this year we said no dates. At least, if you've got
no kid announcements,
if you have
I could have waited. Because we actually, if you look, we just put out the gender reveal.
Yes, you did.
It's.
I appreciate the production.
This is so hard to do, and I pulled that out so quick. Sister, it's another little sister. 3 kids, 2 girls. I wanted to wrap that into the announcement, but I'm just too tired. There's too much going on.
Have I told you? Speaking of kids, I don't know if I've told you this yet. No. Prediction number 1. No.
I'd end the episode.
No. So recently, well, not even recently. I think in the last 3 or 4 weeks, we've discovered my son's absolute favorite thing to do is to be scared. Legitimately, if you can jump scare him, he will. And then all of a sudden get this huge grin on his face.
It's already you've already
I know. It's
laid
I'm
the foundation.
The first couple times that happened, I looked at him and I was like, "Boy, do I have an event for you."
Let's hold
Let
on
me
to
tell
this
you
about
you're
this. You're gonna love it.
Yeah. So
no, that's fantastic.
Yep. I've already looked at the baby carriers for this year. To see if I mean, might as well just go ahead and
just take them. I mean, they won't stop you. I learned that. They say don't do it, but you can bring babies.
Yeah, kids under 3 are free. So I mean, might as well take care of it. I don't know if that's actually true or not. I know they say 13 and up, so I don't know if those tickets are that cheap.
Oh my god. Okay, so even though it has been a month, you remember last episode, I was sick and on medicine and all over the place. I'm still sick, different sickness, but in that time, Ryan, I have done the same thing. Where
sorry, my camera is I have to fake it out in order to
I don't know anything either. So right after we did our last episode, we went down to Florida and went on a cruise, and then I came back and traveled for work, and then I got sick. So I don't know what the rumors are. I kind of went.
Do you not know what the rumors are? Sorry,
I don't. No, and so for my predictions, come on, AC. Who's the AC on this gig anyway? Is it me? Throwback.
Was a little soft.
That's it.
That joke was for 3 people, 2 of them being Ryan and myself. So, or Brian and myself.
Anyway, I'm going to try and not cough through this episode, which I'm doing a terrible job of. This is hot tea, and it got, I don't know if you can still see it, got so hot, the eyes actually went red.
And your thermal actually still works on yours.
My thermal still works. Okay. But yeah, so I'll try not to snivel all that. But yeah, still sick. But anyway, all that to say, I went the same route, Ryan. I'm kind of just going on predictions based on nothing I've read or seen.
Yeah. So we have no official announcements besides the date so far. No tickets, nothing. Rumors, you and I are pretty much up in the air. We don't really know much.
Yeah.
So,
and I haven't heard any huge rumblings since the first round of rumors.
There's a lot of, and I mean, Epic's taken a lot of the attention. Epic is in team member previews right now, and I've been trying to stay as far away as possible, but I'm seeing a little bit here or there, hearing reviews. It sounds great.
Yeah. So sorry, that made me think of something, but I can't do it yet because predictions. Don't look at my predictions. No, and we've been torn on this because I still think we'll get a lot of announcements before Epic, and you're pretty on the side of they're not going to take any momentum away from Epic opening.
Yeah.
So, and here we are, March. No official house announcement yet. Only have dates. So
yeah, no announcement so far, and not really the inklings of an announcement. We haven't seen activity. On
paranormal, especially
on the Twitter or anything like that. I really do believe there's a big push for Epic right now. It is.
Yeah.
Let's get the hype out there. Let's get people going. I mean, this isn't even strong rumors. This is just things that I've heard. Like, not that ticket sales are light, but I would say that the combo ticket hasn't been as successful as what they would like it to be. Now, everybody knows the park is going to...
because it's a stupid deal.
Yeah, the park is going to be slammed.
But yeah, it's a bad deal for anybody who's not.
But they're still trying to push to get people to go and to do that deal as well.
Yeah.
Where you can go, you buy a 3-day pass, a 4-day pass, and you get 1 day at Epic. And
yeah. So I think that's interesting, and we'll get more. I'm holding back right now because I have more thoughts on that, but we got to kind of get into predictions before I can talk about that. And I do want to say, along with my mug, Ryan, I'm really excited. I think I sent you a video. The caffeine provider tonight is my good friend, the Hatbox Ghost, which I recently acquired. I'm a sucker for souvenir cups, and this one was just too good.
Oh, that's amazing.
You drink out of his back.
Should drink out of his hat. He's the Hatbox Ghost.
Yeah, but
wait,
his
does
head
he light up when you drink out of him?
His head comes off, and that's where you fill it up.
Okay.
All the new souvenir cups are amazing, but they leak like crazy. Okay. He also makes sounds, but it's really, you can hear it. It's really annoying. So, but big fan of this. Got me in the spirit. So
speaking,
I don't know.
Speaking of Brian, this is. I mean, it's Universal, whatever, but did you see the sipper that they're releasing for the Jaws 50?
I almost texted you. I did see that.
Yes.
And side note, the reason I wanted to bring this up is because I didn't want anybody watching the video, it looks really weird when I'm drinking out of it. It looks like I'm just holding it in front of my face.
I was like, why is he just holding this thing in front of his face?
Why is he just holding that? Yeah. No, the Jaws cup with the canister. Oh, my gosh.
Yeah, it's pretty great. It is the 50th anniversary of Jaws, so pretty exciting. Which Brian, if I so may, being the victor of last year, I would like to go ahead and transition to my first prediction.
Yeah, why not let the winner 5 years in a row go first? That seems totally fair. But sure, go ahead. Only because it's Jaws 50th.
Which is my first prediction, is that Jaws is coming.
That's bold. I like it. Okay.
So, Brian, I was thinking about this the other day. Now, I said it last year. I said that Jaws would be coming. They have Slaughter. So, Slaughter Cinema 2 had the shark in it. They've said that Slaughter Cinema is a testing bed for future ideas. If they're going to do it, this would be the year to do it. And, Brian, ultimately, the reason why I chose this, and especially my first one, because I actually feel better about this now, is I thought it was really weird. I was reading through all of what they are doing for the 50th. There is no tribute store. Recently, they have been doing Jurassic Park tribute stores.
Now there was a tribute for everybody.
Now it was a little bit of part of last year's tribute store, but it lends itself to a very great tribute store.
Yeah, it does.
So I was trying to think, why would they not try to do different like sets from the movie. Why would they do that? Maybe there's a house there that they're trying to, they can't compete with. Because it sounds awesome. I'm glad they're celebrating it. They've got a new line of merch coming. But when you read what's going on in Orlando, it's honestly stuff that's already there. Yeah. They're like, oh, go to Shea Alcatraz and get Jaws themed drinks. I'm like, you can already do that.
That's already
it's like, go take a photo with Bruce. I'm like, you can already do that.
Already do that as well.
But I'm like, oh, but what? Like, there is something missing here, and maybe it's a house. Now, I know this is one that I'm like, I don't think this is going to happen. I want it to happen. I feel like if it's going to happen, this is the time to make it work.
Here's the only reason I think this isn't a crazy guess. There's two reasons. The number one, you named it, the Slaughter Cinema, testing the waters, if you will, with the shark, and everybody wanted more from that scene.
Yes.
And number two, the biggest, I think, culprit to anything can happen is the Dueling Dragons house.
Yeah.
I mean, that should have never happened. And Jaws is way bigger, and it is technically a horror.
It's arguably one of like Universal's biggest IPs they've ever had.
I would agree with that. And I mean, again, I've seen the light. I've changed my ways. I've opened my mind, Ryan. I would have said, no way, that's a silly house, and I don't understand why they would even consider it. At this point where we are in HHN track history, anything can happen.
Also, ILO's back. Known Jaws fan.
That's reason number 3. Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's reason number 3. Again, I think outsiders would scratch their heads if they announced the Jaws house, but I think people would get on board quickly. I'm making too many puns I don't want to be making. But I don't know. I think it can work. I think there's a strong chance, and if it's going to happen, this is the time.
And I was just like, I'm trying to think of what would fit this year. And it's like, there isn't a lot of strong, like, it's not a big IP, like, year with, like, anniversaries or, like, this movie is coming out. Oh, obviously that's going to be there. There's Stranger Things we were looking beforehand doesn't come out until October.
Right.
So it's like, okay, this could be, like, an IP they wouldn't have to pay for.
Yep.
That they could bring in that would get people to go, but they already probably have a lot of props from it. But yes, very excited about that. And just as a side note, very excited about that exhibit in the LA Museum, because that also will need to happen.
Yeah. No, I think that's a great prediction. I want it to happen. Honestly, that's a point. I say this, when we do these, there's points that I will happily give up. If we get a Jaws house, I'm smiling ear to ear on that one.
Smile, you son of a.
It's subconscious. Okay, so I think that's great. I think that also there's a great chance it doesn't happen. So I also am happy about that. I am going to change what my first one was going to be because
Jaws house.
No. What did I have this? I had it listed. Oh no, it was one of my backups. We do a backup just in case we do tie. I'm gonna bring this one up front.
Wow, from backup to number 1.
To number 1.
What a Cinderella story.
Yeah, yeah. And I don't know if you're gonna be. I don't know if you're gonna allow this one. I think that's why I had it as a backup, because you might naysay on this. I think there will be a special HHN Epic ticket deal.
I'll allow it because it was actually on my list too.
So that's why I'm moving it. I'm scared you had it, and Jaws was one of my backups. 50 for me. Ah! We're not the same person, I promise. Okay, so I'm changing that officially. But yeah, I think, and you kind of maybe led the witness a little too much with saying, the tickets and all that. I was like, and we've already talked about it. I already had it on my mind that this is a possibility, but seeing it more and more and how much closer we're getting, and the 3-day ticket thing, I think there's a chance for there to be a specific tie-in. Go to Epic Universe HHN ticket.
Yep, I definitely think that's a possibility. It'd be a great way to do like a combo ticket, get people to do both parts. Yeah. I mean, that's Universal's marketing strategy recently, or at least their sales strategy for marketing, is to have something to do at each park. They don't want you to go and only go to one park. They want you to go to every park. That's why there's a Harry Potter at every park. That's why they've been trying to like cross-pollinate these IPs. That's why most likely there's going to be a Nintendo presence at every park as well.
Yep.
So,
Yeah,
it's definitely I would say a strong possibility that they're like, hey, come to Horror Night, or better yet, buy an Epic ticket and then get a Horror Nights add-on.
Yeah,
you know,
and again, because so that prediction originally started out as I predict that I'll end up at Epic Universe while I'm down there somehow.
Yeah.
Which feels a little too like, oh, I did it.
Yeah.
It's but also
his ticket's already booked.
Right.
Abby's like, yeah, we ordered it last week.
Right now, I have no active plans of going to Epic Universe. I have no interest in going for one day because there's too much to see, too much to do, and things not working. I want everything to be reliable, whatever.
Yeah.
But Kid in the Candy Shop, you get down there. I mean, we say that every year about I'm not going to go to Disney. I'm not going to go to any of these things. And then we end up going into the parks.
Oh, Brian, I mean, that was like recently, not Horror Nights related, but there is a very big band that disappeared for a while that recently announced shows.
Yeah.
And it was one of those things where I was like, am I going to do a last minute trip to Nashville? Nah. But I'm like, I got in the queue and I was like, if I get tickets, I think I just have to go. Like, I'm sorry, I just have to go. Like,
you have to do it.
So like, there is that moment where you're like, you're there.
He's talking about Ice Nine Kills.
Oh
everybody.
yeah, totally.
Because
I mean,
they also did announce their 2-night Silver Scream concert, which is amazing. But
so no, I think that's a very valid prediction. Actually, I would almost count on it. Coming.
So, okay. I feel really
but
good.
But now I feel really good. I'm happy that
I feel like I have a chance.
Because the second prediction that I have, I could have sworn you would have taken this one first. This one seemed like it was just sitting right there.
Yeah.
So Premium Scream Night's coming back, but it's going to be multiple nights. You're going to have not like one ticket multiple nights, but they're going to do it on more than one night.
So the one that got bumped for that first prediction is 2 premium nights.
Okay.
Well, all right. Hold on. I gotta pull another back. I didn't think you'd go for that one. I'm gonna be honest. I didn't think you would actually say that one.
See, I was thinking about it and I'm like, okay, there's got to be like, I'm trying to think of different, like, it's hard because every year we try to come up with like different ticket ideas and things that like might work or might fit into the event. And I was like, you know what? Like, I feel like Premium was a big enough success that they're going to at least need to give it another go. But I think it's going to be popular enough that they're going to do it on multiple nights because it just makes sense.
Okay, I just bumped the next one up. And the phrasing of it's going to sound vague, but it's not, and we'll explain. But I think you're right. I think Premium Night's going to be successful again, and I think they're going to offer 2.
Yeah.
Maybe 3, maybe one each beginning, middle, and end.
Yeah.
But definitely 2. And yeah, I'm pretty angry. I thought I had 2. That's why I took a risk bumping that other one up, because I was like, well, he's not going to say Premium Nights. That will be the death of me on this one.
That's another one that you're like happy if I get the point.
Right. Like, okay. Maybe. Depends on, well, that throws off my whole booking then. And then the question is, that's a whole rabbit trail though, because then it's like,
oh yeah, then like when do you go? Like which one do you do?
And if you don't do the first one and it's great, then everyone's going to book the second one. So that, I don't know. That's tricky. All right. Well, then bear with me on this one. I think you'll be okay with it. And mainly because you stole mine. An attraction that wasn't open last year will be open this year.
Like, so at studios?
At studios during Halloween Horror Nights.
I don't think that there's any that like are confirmed.
Okay.
So.
All right.
Wait, Transformers was closed last year, I believe.
Was it?
I mean, I'll give it to you.
Is it open this year? Do we know?
I mean, there's no confirmation of what rides are open.
Okay, yeah. So yeah. All right, sick.
Like, but I mean, like, I you know what? I mean, here, you go ahead and explain. But
okay, so I wanted to say a new attraction that's never been open for HHN will be open, but that feels too risky because I think going back to my rant with Rocket closing, they have to open something.
Yes.
And so I think something, but there's rides that have been open in the past that haven't been open for the last few years. And I felt like that was unfair to the 5-year-in-a-row loser or 4-year-in-a-row loser. So I'm just going to say an attraction that was not open for last year's HHN Orlando at any time. Cause I don't think like if Transformers was open for a few days, then that counts as being open.
Okay, cool.
So I think if that makes sense, I think that's what I want to lock in.
I'll give it to you. Because also,
on,
I mean,
HHN.
it makes sense. I mean, and there isn't any obvious ones. Like, it's not like there's
no, because that's the thing. They don't make sense.
Yeah, and I'd be happy with it's like, okay, like Bourne horror makeup show.
Yeah, I mean the big one that I don't think they would ever do, but E.T.
I mean E.T. Yeah,
because Simpsons has been closed for a while, right? It hasn't been several HHNs.
It's been several HHNs that's not there.
That it's not there. So, and now that's
also
when
I forget when does Simpsons retire? I know they haven't officially announced it, but they I know the license runs out soon.
Yeah. So I don't really need that one to be the one.
Yeah.
So, it'd be really mean if they just opened the standing Despicable Me one. So just make you stand more.
I mean, they should move around a little bit. I mean, being a little bit drunk and doing that might be fun.
It could be. But yeah, Jimmy Neutron, or not Jimmy Neutron, God. I need to give you that track though, because I just finished the running track of all the Universal parks. And I have the Jimmy Neutron ride song in there. So, but if Minions is open, anything, please, anything. Rocket has a 60-minute wait every night.
Yeah.
That's a lot of people that are going to go somewhere. We need it. All right.
So
I've overdone the Rocket thing.
My number 3. I'm trying to decide on the ones, because like this is like
we're getting into the.
Well, it's a little bit of repeats, but I still believe that they're very valid.
Yeah.
So I think that this year there's going to be some sort of new like frequent fear express solution.
Oh, okay.
Last year they sold the tickets with it. What was it? 6 hours that they sold them.
Yeah, and they were sold out.
And then they were sold out for the rest of the season. And so, and the thing was that the express lines weren't that different than what they usually are. So I don't know what was going on there.
Yeah,
they never sold out that quickly. So I really like, and this is also like me just wanting to like speaking this into existence, because I really just want there to be like a 2 to 3 day go to Horror Nights with Express. Because that's really
that's what the out of towners need.
Yeah, that's something that like out of town, and then you free up the other weekends too for them to sell more.
Ticket. Yeah.
So that's what I want. I feel like at some point in time they have to offer some sort of alternative where you can do at least 2 nights with Express without having to buy them individually. Because that's always been the argument for the frequent fear pass with Express. It's like, well, if I'm going 2 nights with Express, I might as well go any night I want, because the price is there. It's like
then the price, yeah. No, that's
I mean, I'm sure this year that's going to be way more expensive, but it is what it is.
Yeah. I again would love to see that one, because we're at premium is my saving grace right now, because we're not doing private recipe store, and it's too hard to do 2 express passes, and then to your point, at that price point you might as well just do. And so I would love to see something like that, honestly. And I know that again, I'd love to see a 1 express pass with a after 11 p.m. fast pass option, like which exists, right, but not as a package, just to save on money. So I like that.
Actually, I can see that too. Just like pre-selling the after 11 express
after
pass,
limit,
because they do,
or the unlimited.
They do it for was Scream early. That's something that you can do. So it makes sense if it's like Scream late.
Scream late. Ooh,
and then
they're about to steal Screamium Premium, baby.
There you go.
Scream late. No, I think there's some wiggle room on that one for you, and I would love to see it. So the rest of these are done. I
love the confidence.
Yeah. I'm just reading this one, and you took my other good one. So, okay. I'm going to move this one up, and I will say there will be more IPs than originals this year.
Okay.
And I know that they've tried to maintain a 50-50 split, but I think with all of the weirdness going on and the rumors of how many locations, I think there's a chance we see it outweigh.
Okay. Now, question. Let's just go ahead and settle this ahead of time.
Oh, no.
Are you counting Universal Monsters as an IP? or not?
What did we determine?
I don't remember.
We determined they have to license it, right?
Yeah.
So I think it's an IP.
Okay. They say it's an IP, so I just
all right,
for
the
clarity of the game.
That's a good.
Like,
no,
I don't want it to be the end of the season. It's like, oh, it's 5 and 5, and like monsters is one,
Yeah.
you know. Yeah. And so it's got to be 6,
That's
6-4, right?
6-4. Yep.
All right, I'll take it. That's a bold prediction. When's the last time that they've had more IPs than originals?
I don't know.
Back before they did 10.
Back before they did 10, and like on the years where they did like the the movie year I went, it was all IPs. When Walking Dead, by the way, well, no, never mind. I guess it doesn't count. But yeah, like I'm thinking 7-5.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm going crazy.
You're going
here.
for 12. Jeez.
I'm going for yeah.
I like how
It's
neither
happening.
you or I have done that one yet. Actually, that's a pretty empty one right now.
It is.
I'm not taking it either.
I'm not taking it either.
So, but I really like this next one. This one's a little bit similar.
Okay.
Similar for
I
me.
like that I'm not taking it, but I'm banking my IP logic on it.
Yeah. So
Okay.
WB is going to have a presence at the event.
Okay. Women in business.
So at least something. I think that
so like Mathregan.
Is that Warner Brothers?
No, I'm going all in on my women in business joke. Women in business.
There you go.
Yeah. No. Okay. Well, it's funny because you know how many people texted me this year so far? They're like, "Hey, have they ever had it?"
Oh.
I'm like, "Look, it is the white whale. All right."
I do not think that it is. That's not a prediction. I'm just saying I don't think it would start off with it.
No,
but I think
something Warner Brothers, because we did see them try to do their own thing.
they tried their own thing. They've licensed with Six
Then
Flags.
they tried to give it to other people.
Wow.
Well, do you remember the Warner Brother, like when they pulled it the first time and they had that whole, and now they try to go to Six Flags. So I think you're right. Maybe they come home.
And that's the thing. It's like I do feel like it's time for them to start working on their relationship again to get some other Warner Brothers things. I looked and it's like, okay, like, like they've had The Exorcist and a few other ones in the past, but it's been a while since they've had a Warner Brother property there. And Warner Brothers did go off, try their own scare event, and then they went and started doing Six Flags, which I think for population wise and like numbers, a lot of people went, but by all accounts, it was awful. And I feel like they want. I mean, money's nice, but I also feel like why not?
Money.
Also, Universal is going to pay them money to do these things, and also that would be a big get for this year to get people to go to the event. Because
it would be huge. It would be huge.
So I'm not predicting this at all, but I do feel like with Epic and the other things going on, this might feel a little bit like an off year, and it would be nice for them to have like at least one solid IP that will bring that attention.
Yeah, I think that okay.
What's Fallout?
A video game. No, but I don't know who owns the TV rights. Warner Brothers. You're like, oh, it's Fallout.
Well, no, I'm just checking because I feel like it's not.
Excuse me.
Let's see who owns the rights to the Fallout series. I mean, it says just Bethesda,
Okay.
and Amazon made the show. So
Amazon. Oh, so then it's not them.
let's see what studios. I know people listen to the show to hear me do research, but
Yeah. No. While you do that, I'm gonna charge my glasses so they can look at that. Hey guys, look at these glow in the dark glasses that were a really dumb purchase that only work at HHN, huh? Pretty cool. Actually, I still need to probably change my predictions because I'm gonna go with this. This one feels dumb, but I'm gonna do it.
go for it.
All right, I'm gonna throw this in. This feels like a throwaway, and I honestly was shocked at it going away. I think we're going to see the return of one of the silliest things they've ever gotten rid of.
Bill and Ted.
Even worse than that. Even worse than
Chucky
Bill and
Burger.
Ted. The Cabana Bay photo op.
Okay.
I don't know why it went away. I think it's dumb because I think it's a great thing. I think they just need to open earlier. And
So you're talking about the Cabana Bay walkthrough, like
the walkthrough,
okay.
yeah, not the step and repeat thing that every hotel.
Say,
has.
just to make sure.
The walkthrough photo op, yes. I think that's gonna come back, especially if they get Fallout or Jaws,
Yeah.
or Gremlins. Still haven't done the Gremlins thing. Because here's the last 2 times I stopped asking for things, they came.
Yeah.
So I'm going to stop asking for Gremlins in hopes that they're just going to do it.
Yeah.
But I think it just makes sense for the photo op thing walkthrough to come back. And I really liked it. I just thought it had terrible times for anybody going to HHN because it opened at what, 3 or 4?
Yeah, and I remember when I stayed on property, I actually made it a point to go by there, and I was like, wait a second, it's 4:00. I'd be at Horror Nights
at HHN, right? And it closes.
And then I was only there during HHN days because I was like, oh, just go on a day where it's not
right, and you're not there. Yeah, I get, and that's probably why they didn't get the foot traffic they expected. So I think they took a year off. They're reworking it, and I want as much gray area. So if it returns in anything more than the themed things out in the lobbies,
I gotcha.
Right.
I would be that. So far, I want all these predictions to happen.
Yeah.
It's we win if they happen.
We just right. We're willing it to happen because we need them to happen.
So this last one, I just think it's gonna happen.
Okay.
Now this is again a little bit of a repeat of last year.
Okay.
Universal Monsters is dead. It will not be there
again.
I really do think that because of the new land, and also they literally killed. In my
everyone,
defense,
right?
last year they killed pretty much all of them, and I know that there's a loose story going. It's not the most firm storyline going on, but
I after talking to people who don't fully understand that Nintendo Land in Orlando is at a completely different park than the other 2 parks, I could see them 100% this year staying away from anything Universal Monsters in studios with the hype that it would be too confusing. And I'm going to be honest, it's a little confusing that they went with Unchained for their park name and then the HHN in Vegas Unleashed, right?
Yeah.
It trips me up. And so I don't know. There's something to be said for similar marketing. It's it's Monsters, it's Universal.
Yeah.
You want them to get that, right? And it doesn't matter if they get it exactly right. I think on this year, it matters a little bit.
That's the thing. Is especially this year, there is going to be a brand that they're okay. And
they show up and do this 5-minute house and they're like, well, that was way overhyped.
And arguably this, you really want to make sure that sorry. Blah, blah. I'm resetting here. The Monsters attraction right now is being hailed as the attraction over at Epic.
Yeah, which
so
we called that.
I don't know. It's not the weeness.
We did. I did.
I mean, it's an amazing ride. I can't wait to ride it, but you want to make sure that people don't get confused.
Right.
And if that's the marquee thing over there, you don't want people going to studios,
HHN,
especially seeing the billboard and being oh, I get to go ride this ride.
Yeah.
Again, they want people going to Epic. This year is about Epic. Go funnel to Epic and give it the best reviews you possibly can.
I think you're right, and the only thing that helps kind of bury that is the burial of all the dead monsters. From last year, because they killed it. They killed.
Well, that's I thought about this one and I was like, should I do it again? I'm like, well, actually, last year they really killed them all, unless they're going to reboot or just do a one-off.
Yeah,
I did briefly think about saying the Wolfman might return, but I'm like, that was I think Universal's really trying to bury that one.
Yeah. And the Wolf Vision couldn't save it. It went to streaming real quick. They just can't get the Dark Universe off the ground. But Frankenstein Unchained is gonna be off the chain. I'm so sorry, but I'm stalling because I don't like my last one because I had to take and change the other ones. Are we on the last one?
We are.
That was your last one.
Number 5.
Okay, I have that. Talk about something Universal. Hold on, that's you.
Okay. Well, hoping that they do those UOAP spring deals right now. They've been doing the 15-month deal the last couple springs, and that hasn't dropped yet. So would like to go sometime soon, but I'm currently not a pass holder, and it's weird.
How's that?
I mean, it's especially where like, so we took a 1 year break, or 1 year and a couple months during the COVID year.
Yeah.
And like, but besides that, I've been a pass holder since 2012. So like,
that's crazy.
May 2012 was when I got my pass. So it's like, okay, like overall, the majority of the last 13 years, actually the vast majority, maybe like a year and change off. And especially the weirdest thing was I went down to Orlando, 2 weekends ago. And at this point in time, my entire family, besides Leah and I, have annual passes to Universal.
That's
And I'm like, oh, like if they wanted to go, we couldn't go. And we've been the ones that always had these passes.
That always, yeah. That's funny. I wonder if I could say something like, this will be the longest, when the event ends, it'll be the longest Ryan's gone without having an HHN, a Universal annual pass.
Usually around HHN, I cave. Also, Leah and I tend to do anniversary trips. We like to go down there. And this year, like, theme parks make the most sense with a not with kid, but it's like, okay, like like, well, and also we have the idea right now of possibly splitting it up into like a 3-part trip, where it's like you do the first couple days where you drop it by the grandparents, him by the not it, and then
there's a second one,
and then
I knew
you
it
pick them up.
Yeah.
Maybe do a day or two, so that way they get to see things. You get the, oh, look at this thing. And then possibly we've talked about maybe trying to bring a friend along, pay for their hotel room for the last couple days, and being like, hey, like maybe at night, you just watch the kid and
it's me. Is it me?
I mean,
yeah.
Not as of now, but
oh dang! I can't do that.
I was like, I was gonna say, I'm pretty sure you're gonna have a fresh one around that point. So
yeah, my wife is trying to do the thing that Leah also tried to do, and that Spence's wife tried to do. I mean, they all did it successfully, which is like, you're going to HHN, it doesn't matter,
Yeah.
And it does a little bit.
Yeah. Well, no, that's I'm like, no, but for real though, like, it's an event. I can skip it.
Logistics here. Yeah, right. There's an event. I don't have to go. Our newest edition is due July 1st, and I mean, that's, if it's premium, that's only a month and a half into like newborn. So it'd be a short trip. I'm fine skipping it. So
you're already gonna be sleep deprived anyways.
I'm right. I say my body knows it, dude. The last 2 nights I've just laid awake till 2-3 in the morning. Can't fall asleep. I read books. I listen to meditation. Anyway, I stalled long enough. I'm gonna go with this. This feels, I can't think of another one on the spot. So this was my only other backup, and I gotta have new backups now, because this all changed so much. But I think for the first time, and I have to confirm this because I don't know if this is true, for the first time in his life, Tawan will be going back-to-back years of HHN.
Oh, okay. Nice.
So that was one of my tiebreaker ones, because Tawan was a tiebreaker one last year. But I know he's only gone like 2 or 3 times, and it's been like 10 years in between each. So
another time that I would actually be very for this. Because I missed last year, and I was like, and I didn't believe it would happen. Yeah, because something always happens, and then I saw the video on social where he was like walking up, and I was like, it just feels wrong to not be there during this time. So
and I'll tell you, you don't have it's so much fun because his reactions are just as good as ours.
Oh yeah.
And the only thing is you got to be careful because he's strong. He'll take you down with him. You got to be ready for that. But yeah, so I think he's going to go back to back. He had such a great time. He finally made it last year, and he was just blown away. Also, Insidious, what a year to come back on. I was like, you're good. You don't have to come back again.
I mean, I feel like there's like a good prediction that there's going to be like an Insidious quality house this year, but
I tried to come up with something like that. I just don't know.
And it's hard to have metrics. It's like, how do you say,
how do you measure that? Yeah.
Yeah.
You'd have to take a private recipe store and be like, hey, did they get get told to go crazy again and get the most actors and scares? And all right, well, I will come up with backups by before they release anything else.
Yeah.
And send them to you just so that you have them before the event starts. And if we do tie in a miraculous 5th year, I need it. I need it so bad, guys. I'm starting to get
one of my backups. So I have two backups.
Okay. Let me see if I can come up with one real quick.
But one of them, I actually don't know if I have just a question mark next to a statement, and I'm like, but I don't know if it's a yes or a no. If it's like I think it's going to be there, or I don't think it's going to be there.
Oh, okay, that's it.
You know what? I'm going to have fun with it.
Okay.
I actually don't think this is going to happen, but my prediction is that it's going to happen.
Year, who cares? Okay, 5th years, who cares? You won. All right, what is
Lagoon Show. It's gonna happen.
Oh, I am shocked that it wasn't in either of our.
I really feel like they're too busy with the shows at Epic to plan a new show, but they do need. They really need an attraction eater.
Yeah,
and the Lagoon Show, like, it's not plug and play. Like, I mean, I know that, like, but really, like, once you get the show going, I feel like they can, it's something that they could do every night. And that's a lot of people.
I'm gonna be honest. If they build it even, like, just throw 80% of ILO show, Monster Mayhem, and then just add in whatever the new IP is, and I'd be totally fine with that.
Exactly. I feel like that, they're, and I mean, who knows? We keep on saying that because of Epic, they're like a little bit like thin as far as like their resources and all, but maybe they're just that much bigger. Like, like maybe it's not, we have to take the same resources and spread it over 4 parks.
Yeah.
Maybe it's, they're just did a whole other,
gigantic.
So.
Yeah. No, I love that, and I'm gonna just throw away one because I was gonna guess this anyway, and I feel like I don't think it's gonna happen, but I'm gonna say it is a new Scare Zone location / horde.
Okay.
So it can't be the chainsaw horde, it can't be the dancing,
can't be Death Eaters.
Death Eaters, it can't be death drums.
No.
So I think we'll see something like that. I think that's a dumb guess, but it's what I do.
I would really like to have some sort of kind of merch idea, but I don't have one as of now.
Oh, that was my other one.
But
I deleted it. Hold on. I have it. Can I say my backup before you steal it?
Yeah.
We will not have all of the houses on the house shirt this year.
Okay. I mean, that's a decent prediction.
Yeah, because last year was the first time they've done it in how long?
So my last one, and I'll probably process this while I'm talking to you about it.
Okay.
Just to clarify, because I don't like having very vague ones, but this one I haven't completely thought through. But this one, with the closing of Rip Ride Rocket, we're going to have some major operational effect to the event. Like, there's going to be a pathway that like we almost take every year that we like. We're going to have to go around.
Okay.
We're going to have to like walk.
So like
we're going to have to like walk through islands of adventure to come to like.
Last year, I would give that to you because of the complete new behind Men in Black path. I'll give you that. It's got to be like major.
No, that's
like
what I'm saying. It's a major. It's not a small. It is a major operational change because of the closing of that ride. Like you're going to have to like. Go around the whole studios on the island side and come this, So I don't know how it's possible, but again, I wouldn't have thought the new soundstage was possible, or not soundstage. The tent houses.
The tent houses, yeah. I mean, it's kind of weird that came in. It wasn't a big deal, right?
No, it was like, oh yeah, there's
new locations. And everyone was like, okay, like, cool, yeah, I like them. It just wasn't fanfare.
I remember looking at a map and being like, where could they put another house? I have no idea.
Yeah. And then they're like, here's 2 new houses.
With this, I would say, like, if they have, like, only, like, one sound stage open or something like that.
Okay.
Like, that's another major operational change where they, like, front load the back side of the park or something like that.
Yeah. Okay. I'm down. I think that's viable because of Rocket closing.
Yeah, and I don't know, like, what their demolition process is going to be, how fast they're going to do it. I mean, we saw... The way I did not think that they were going to demolish a roller coaster happen.
That King to Ka was the craziest
I just assumed
thing.
that they would take it apart like piece by piece, and it's just like, nah.
One of the craziest things I've ever seen. And like they've knocked Space Spiral down, they've knocked rides down.
I rode that, and I'm like, that is a tall ride. How did they have the room for it to?
It was a work of art falling in itself. And if you look, there's a parking lot behind it. I mean, it had to go exactly right. It could not go into the park.
Exactly.
It could not. I mean,
and I saw
really
I saw a photo
impressive.
today that it was like in a dump somewhere.
Yeah.
And I'm like,
it's like,
do you know what fans would have paid?
Give me track pieces,
exactly,
bro.
Like,
yeah.
Could you imagine like having like in the back of your camera just like a 1 foot part of King to Ka?
Yeah, people do that. They buy that, they get it, they steal it. I mean, people are going to try and steal it. Yeah, no, it's really crazy. And if parks haven't learned by now, the easiest money in the world, just sell these scrap metals.
Exactly.
When they closed Vortex at Kings Island, they cut off a bunch of slivers, and I wanted one, and they sold them for way too much money, and they sold out.
Yeah.
People will buy it. I was gonna say, if you're still out there listening, whoever you are, for the love of God, give us Monster Mash on Rip Ride Rocket on Premium Night. On Premium Night, I'll do whatever Universal wants me to do.
You know what, Brian? I feel like it's kind of wrong that neither you or I had a Monster Mash prediction. It being the last year it's possible. We should have. One of my favorite moments of this show was when was it the first year or the second year that I said might have been one of the hardest I've ever laughed.
When what?
When I brought back the Monster Mash prediction.
Oh, yes. It was. The problem with all of this is I keep saying Rip Ride Rocket is closing because I'm doing the acceptance thing through the stages of grief. And it's so funny because I talked to one of our good old buds who you and I used to work very closely with. And I went on my whole, I was driving back from Florida and I was talking about Rip Ride Rocket. And, I tried to relate it to his beloved roller coaster getting removed. Yeah. And the sentiment was not there. He was just like, interesting, because some people hate Rip Ride Rocket.
It's a popular ride to hate, not as much as Fast and Furious, but it is.
But Rocket is a good coaster,
and
it was a good boy. Okay,
is when it originally opened, it was like I specifically, and it's funny because people laugh when I say this. I specifically remember how smooth it was.
Yeah.
And everyone else was like, it's such a rough ride. I'm like, no, but when it first opened, it was like one of the smoothest rides I've ever had. It was just fun.
It was fun. It was the best. Yeah.
But yes, this whole year will be a little bit mourning,
Monster Mash, yeah, I'm just sad. And I'm honestly, the biggest push for me to get to Premium is to ride Rocket one more time. Even though I said goodbye to it last year, to not ride it at HHN I've skipped Ben in Black before and Mummy to make sure I get on Rocket.
It is that's the thing. It feels like it's something that it does feel a part of the event. It's something that I would say you are missing out. Yeah.
Light. Oh, you're making me so bummed out, Ryan.
What's going to be your if you pick one more last track? What's it going to be?
I can't even do it because they took all of them off.
Do you not do any of the secret tracks?
I could do the secret tracks, and my complaint with the secret tracks used to be is they're not timed to the ride as good as the regular tracks, but now the new 4 tracks aren't timed to the ride either.
Yeah.
Welcome Black Parade or whatever it is great. I mean, you almost have to do Rainbow Connection or moving some sad goodbye childhood song.
I know I've done Freebird before. Freebird feels like a good one.
Freebird would be good. Isn't Modest Mouse one of the secret tracks?
Yeah.
Float On would be, but you don't even get to float on until the very end. So it's
that's like Stockholm Syndrome. That was always my one that I would do, but it would always be partway through the chorus when you're finishing up and you're like that. Yeah.
So that was always my problem with the secret tracks, but now the new tracks. So I don't. But it's true. It's the lights, the energy of it. Wherever you are in the park, you can see it, and it adds to the event.
It's always there. Where
it's always there.
Wherever you are in the park, you can look and you can see Rip Rocket. You hear the screams.
Sure
you go under into the queue of the house, and there's people riding it above
right
you.
Over top. And as a coaster nerd, you get the view of the treble clef or whatever from underneath, and it's amazing, and it gives you something to watch. And I'm sure there's someone right now is checking all the reasons. So that's why I hate it. It ruins because a lot of people think it ruined the skyline of that park, and it's going to turn into a Rocket hate thing.
One of my original HHN memories is walking into Nightingales, but having to walk underneath Rip Rocket and just seeing it from underneath as I'm walking into that. So it'll always
you can't. Last year when I went on opening night after preview, when you were running around with your fam, I rode it it had no wait, and because everyone was going to the houses, and I rode it 3 times in an hour or 4 times. I did it quite a few times. I will say I've always been someone it's not that rough. I'm fine. After 4 times, it's okay, especially if you get in the back a few of those times, it's all right, it hurts a little bit. But yeah, it's
Brian,
I'm sad. Sad.
Year
now.
5 of predictions.
I feel. Let's go back up. I feel good about year 5 of predictions, Ryan. I feel like I have a chance.
I feel like you have a chance too. And honestly, I won't be that disappointed.
Not because of how good my predictions are, but because how wishy-washy yours are.
Wishy-washy. How bad
like
mine are.
50-50. Like yeah. I was trying to not say terrible.
Okay. Thanks.
No, yours are actually really good. You stole 2 of mine.
I did steal 2 of yours.
I'm making fun of my own predictions. That's what's funny here, everybody. Anyway, good predictions, and it's nice to be thinking of the event because it's been a month since we recorded almost, and I'm just like, I don't know. I still don't know anything more than I knew.
I know.
Then.
I'm like, will there be there's got to be an announcement at some point.
You want to be?
Within 3 months, we'll have a prediction. Or not prediction, an announcement.
1, 2, for those who saw that clip. But yeah, they said first time I'm excited for IPs. That's why I kind of went all in on the IP predictions. I'm kind of excited. I want new. I want Jaws now.
I like how neither you or I guessed Terrifier.
No.
Yeah, it is weird. Oh, the other one, I'm not going to count this as one of my predictions, but I will just say it now, just so that way you know. I'll take just street cred for this one. Okay. I still say no announcements until Epic, unless they do The Last of Us Part 2, and then they'll time it with something with the show. The show comes out April 13th. So there could be something where it's like...
I was pretty in on Last of Us Part 2 coming, especially with the show and the success. And I honestly will be a little surprised at this point if it is coming. So, all right. I'm wrapping my head around no announcements until after Epic. But Epic opens in May, so I guess that's not crazy. Right? Didn't they say like end of May?
Yeah. I mean,
all right.
What? It's so like May 22nd, I think.
Yeah. So 2.5 months still. Okay. Yeah. One announcement tied to the show. That's possible.
So
things are happening now. Okay. And we need premium night announced before June because I would love to know when I'm going to the event this year.
Again, we will see. But yeah, that's our prediction episode. So I hope everyone enjoyed. Who do you think is going to win? If you want to tweet X at us, then
down. If you're one of the 20 on videos, that's because the 90% of our population's on the. Sorry, my ADHD. But we also have to say goodbye. It's just a year of goodbyes, Ryan. This is no longer our host platform. Skype.
I know, yes.
Is going away as well. I am actually angry about that. I hate Teams.
I know. That's what someone today was like, just use Teams instead. I'm like, I don't want to use Teams.
Teams is terrible.
I don't want to use it at work. And I'm like, yes, for work.
Not because I choose to, because I have to.
Well, and then I went down the rabbit hole of talking to ChatGPT about all right, well, what's a free replacement one that uses NDI? And they're like, nah.
No.
And I'm okay, so now I gotta look into freeware and then also do virtual audio cables and things like that. So that'll probably be a next weekend thing that I play around with, trying to figure out because in May this retires. So you and I will stop using this already outdated platform.
We're the only two on Skype anymore anyway. It's fine.
It really is true that it's funny whenever I tell people hey, just get on Skype and join the podcast. You guys use Skype? I'm like, I'm sorry, Zoom cuts you off after 45 minutes.
Zoom and especially even after the pandemic, we'd have to get people with pro accounts.
Exactly. I used Google Meet for a while, but that was my last work. We paid for the account, so I would just use my work login, and then we would be able to record. But
Skype, I love you.
I know lots of memories on Skype.
Gen Zs out there. So goodbye to all that. But hit us in the comments. Who's gonna win? Who has the better predictions? Drop your predictions.
Yeah. Well, and then we will
maybe see you in April.
We will see you in April. We're doing one a month, so we'll figure out that.
But if something happens before that,
I mean, maybe. Who knows? We'll see.
Maybe. All right. We'll see. I have nothing else.
We got nothing else. No Bill and Ted predictions this year. I think we gave up. They killed us. We're dead inside.
Dude, can you imagine if ILO brought that back?
It's the year.
If he brings it back and we didn't predict
what if it was I'm going to laugh.
Retirement clause.
So this year is going to be the year of Gremlins. Monster Mash on Rip Ride Rocket. Bill and Ted comes back. Unofficial prediction.
If those three happen, the show's over and we go home and we don't.
What's
going
to
to
happen is like two of them are going to get announced, or we're just going to like be like looking at each other like. All right. Well, y'all take it easy. Have a good night. We will see you soon.